Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. I'm your host, Nick, managing editor of DoubleClutch.ca, and we are joined in studio by our usual crew. Imran's back after a brief hiatus, and we got Nathan here with us, too. How's it going, fellas?
Doing well. I feel like I need to explain my hiatuses. I'm a new parent.
Yes.
End of story.
Yep.
I'm also here.
Excellent. Thank you. It seems like it took a minute to compute that. Where am I?
Yes.
All right. The energy is high.
You get to say the thing?
What thing?
You get do the
No.
Okay, cool. So Imran, you have been in some cool stuff lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically the Imran show. You got a few cars to talk about, eh?
That's right. I got.
It's the premium dude episode.
That's right. I rolled the dice well for the last couple of weeks, and it started off with something Italian, an Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio.
That's basically your last chance, your first and last chance at experiencing that thing. Because they're killing it off this year. Which is very sad.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
It's a final edition.
That's
just so you know.
Automotive sin.
Yeah.
I will say that. Let me get the bad stuff out of the way.
Okay.
So,
fair. What bad stuff?
There's Chrysler switchgear. You don't care, and I'll explain why in a little bit. There are those Italian quirks in the sense of
character, passion.
So the infotainment randomly restarted on me as I was driving a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
It saves you having to do it yourself. Half the time, turn it off, turn it back on again. Let me just do that for you.
Yeah. The start-stop system isn't the most refined, but hey, dealt with that in the Range Rover as well. One thing that was weird is that, you know how at night you have auto lights like that stay on, right? Like the...
the coming home lights.
Yeah, coming home lights. So the car, even though you have the lights in auto, when you open the door, it chimes at you like you have your headlights on.
Hey!
Like letting you know that your headlights are on.
Yeah, but it's because they are on.
So
just going out of its way to remind you, hey, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, your lights are on.
So that was a little bit weird. And then all of the beeping is very insanely loud. Like a microwave. Like it's the weirdest thing ever.
Why aren't you on the brakes?
Yeah, all of that. Even when the trunk is opening, it's beeping at you like it's like a truck backing up. Like it's nuts.
It's theatrical.
Very much so. Outside of that, holy shit, is this thing amazing.
God, that engine is a fucking work of art.
Like, I'm getting way too excited and hot and bothered because I was hot and bothered driving this thing around. It is, and I'm going to sound like I'm absolutely embellishing, obviously not on the same playing field, but like when I had that 488, I know they say that the powertrain in this thing is a chopped off Ferrari California engine, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's got that weird lumpy idle, because it's an odd fire V6, because it was a V8.
And thank you for that info.
I know things.
It just feels exotic in all the right ways. Like even the column mounted paddle shifters, which is very Ferrari.
But it is the way. It is the correct way. Have you seen the light on this yet?
No.
It is the way.
No.
One day you'll come around.
Someone's got to give me a Ferrari for a few weeks, and maybe I'll come around. So
long-term test.
But yeah, just like the handling is, like the turn-in is so insanely sharp. It handles incredibly well. I didn't check what the curb weight is, but whatever it is, it hides it super well. It does not feel like a crossover.
It boogies incredibly well for something that's basically for a crossover.
Yeah. It feels like a sports car. Like it feels like a good sports car.
The way it wakes up when you flick it into D? No, yeah.
Race.
Race mode. Yes, race mode. That's night and day.
Yeah, and the sound.
Oh my god.
The sound. Oh, how do we explain this? We've all heard it. You've heard it in the Giulia, right? I think you had.
That car is pretty good.
And
that car is very good. It's like you were on the right path when you started. It's exotic. It doesn't sound like anything else you can buy except other exotic cars. It has that very mid-high pitch kind of harmonic, resonant, just like shimmering quality to it. That like most Porsches, bar the GT cars, no BMWs.
Yeah.
Like nothing else can touch. It is a very unique powertrain because it is a weird powertrain, because it is a weirdo, like hacked up Ferrari V8. And it's so much cooler for it.
And the thing is as loud as it is inside, and it's not too loud. It's like
it's the correct amount.
Yeah. But you don't realize it from the outside.
Yep.
It's a screamer.
Yep.
So the one prime example, I'm coming back and I'm driving in race mode in that thing everywhere I go. Man, I'm using the paddles. Yeah. And I'm downshifting and about to turn into the neighborhood. So not going that fast. And I see two people as I'm approaching. Their backs are to me. They're walking. And they turn around to see
what the fuck is that?
And I realize, I'm like, that's funny. I don't think another SUV has ever done that that I've driven.
Yeah.
And no one's going to make... Yeah, they're not expecting to turn around and see, like, it's an SUV?
Yeah.
They couldn't have been that.
Yeah, a little compact looking, because it's small.
Yeah.
It's a smallish SUV. But yeah, I found that really funny.
Yeah. They're very good vehicles. I don't think it's fair that they catch nearly as much shit as they do. They're not nearly as problematic as they've been made out to be. Mm-hmm. They have their quirks, but they're not nearly as bad. I'd say they're like broadly comparable to something like an M3 or an AMG C63, whatever.
Like in terms of quirks, you mean? Like in terms
quirks,
of just...
long-term ongoingness. Yeah. There's things that are more expensive, like the brakes on them are absolutely fucking savage because they are not shared with anything else.
Right.
So like, you have ongoing costs that are going to be higher, but that's because you have a much more unique vehicle that is far more unique to drive and live with and look at.
And this is kind of, and going back to that 488, where infotainment was shit.
Yeah.
Some of the switchgear is like pulled off of like a Fiat or some Chrysler product or something. Mm-hmm. And you don't care because it's a fucking 488, right? The Stelvio Quadrifoglio, I kid you not, it's the same thing.
It does the same thing.
I was like, it is the Chrysler switchgear. Oh, the infotainment is garbage.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I feel like it's like...
It's a little dated, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's a little laggy. It's a little... I feel like the screen's a little small, but again, like the point I'm making here is that like...
You don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah. I just need more of this. Just hook it to my veins. Give me more of this. It's so fucking good.
Like, a part of me is the weirdest thing to say is that like it feels like a Sunday morning car, even though it's an
SUV,
even though it's a crossover that you drive.
Yeah. But that's the magic, right? Like they managed to distill that character, like that Ferrari wiliness, into the Giulia Quad sedan, which to absolutely nobody's surprise was fucking out of this world genius, and even more genius was managing to take that character and put it in a fucking SUV. Yeah, that's a real testament to genius engineering.
Something you can ostensibly you stuff a child seat into that and like comfortably do Costco runs with it.
I did using the back. He was having a good time.
Same.
Yeah, I will say trunk space is rather small. It's one of the first crossovers where I actually couldn't fit the stroller lying flat.
Really?
Yeah.
It is about the size of like an X3, right?
Yeah, but I didn't have an X3, but
it's in that like compactish size, right? Like
actually, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if it's smaller, like from a length perspective.
Okay, yeah.
It was parked behind my brother's Cayman, and I was looking at them both, and I'm like.
About the same footprint.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising, actually.
Yeah, at least at least from the looks of it, it looked like that, and it's very compact.
That's impressive because like when that thing showed up on the schedule, like Nick offered it to me first, and I said yes, give me that.
Yeah.
And I forget what else came up. I think my car this week came up, so I'm like, forget it. Let someone else have it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't super keen on it because it is the SUV. I've had the sedan. The sedan was the fucking best.
Yeah.
I figured the SUV was going to be like a watered down shitbox next to it. And I am so elated to hear that it wasn't a cop-out compliance product just to get more sales. It actually is that good.
Heck no. Like this is the first Alfa I've driven.
Yeah.
I haven't driven any other Alfa, any version of anything, whether like the base versions or anything.
Not even a Terrain?
And, you always see every YouTube video you watch, everything you read, there's always this, like, love affair with Alfa before they get into the car.
Yeah.
Right? Before whatever.
There's a mysticism that precedes them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, because, sure, they have, like, racing history and this and that. It's like, but a lot of companies have racing history.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
Cool. And then I drove it.
Oh, that's what they mean.
Yeah, like straight up, I'm just like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like I get the passion. I get it.
The funniest thing is that when car companies start throwing around words like passion and emotions and dynamics, it's generally bullshit.
It's marketing buzz speak, and I tune out.
Like that couldn't be further from the truth with the Stelvio Quad.
Yeah, like the fact that it inspired, like, I think the biggest thing you said was that it feels like that Sunday morning, once a week, point A to point A toy car. Mm-hmm. But it's not that. That is such a huge compliment to give that machine.
So it's so good that I already know, without having driven the Giulia Quadrifoglio, that I want it.
Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable.
So that's literally what, if you guys know, I've been kind of like loosely like, hey, should I get another car? And like that Giulia Quadrifoglio that I have not driven.
Yeah. It's
like
it's
in
the
my
same
mind.
thing, but better.
Yeah. Because I'm like
rear-wheel
ways
drive
lighter,
here.
lower to the ground, rear wheel drive.
Yeah. It's so
How could it
wild.
not be fantastic?
Yeah. It's the only sports sedan, like modern sports sedan I've driven, even going to the M3 CS, where I thought, like, this is a bit much. It's fucking ridiculous.
So we had the M3 CS last year.
Yeah.
And like it was good. I remember really
It's
liking
fucking
it.
incredible.
It's the most engaging modern M product that you can probably buy right now.
But not like this. This is still a different
It's different,
type
and that's
of
the
passion.
thing. And I was going to bring this up because, like, I've had fast SUVs like the X5M, which is by all measures an insanely competent, fast transportation product.
Right.
Like, if you want, like, it is an SUV that you can hustle on a track if they'll let it on, because it may or may not be too tall. But it's fucking really good.
Yeah.
But it didn't inspire me to drive it like a goof. I drove it like a goof briefly to test it so I could write about it, because that is my job, but I didn't care to.
Yeah.
Beyond, like, a couple of occasions where, like, okay, let's be dumb, let's play with this. Ha, that was fun. I'm good. I spent most of the week cruising with it like it was any other fucking commuter car. Mm-hmm. But the Alphas don't do that. They inspire you to be a goof knuckle.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you were saying, like, you're just putzing around driving home after work, banging off the shifter because it's fun.
I'm in. I do the same thing that I do in my Boxster, which is like in the Boxster, I like put it in sport, you know, and like turn off auto start stop and do all of those things. Put the suspension to sport. In this thing, I'd hop into this crossover. Remember, and flick the dial to race. Yeah. Right to race.
Yeah,
obviously.
And then put it in manual.
Yeah.
And away I went.
And just have fun with it.
Doesn't matter if I'm going to no frills or whatever, doing a milk run.
Yeah.
You just do it.
That's it. It goes into race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it's a shame that it's gone, because they really had something special going there.
That is very disappointing. I did not know this.
Yeah, man. Sorry.
Like just low sales? Julia's still around though?
No, Julia's dead too.
No. They're killing both off because, obviously, emissions, electrification, yada, 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 all that fun stuff.
But we got the Tulane.
But hey, yeah. And we have the Milano.
What?
No.
Yeah, it's their it's their subcompact crossover that's fully electric.
Neat.
Yeah. Cool, huh?
So this is the swan song that we're
basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very disappointing.
I'm sorry.
That ruined my day.
I'm sorry you didn't know that. Maybe I'm not sorry, because you got to just enjoy it while you had it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because like I've had a couple, like last year I had a couple cars that like, this is the end of the line.
Yeah.
And like, man, fuck, I feel like I have to go out and drive this because I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah. Oh, well, used car shopping.
That's right. Off to Kijiji.
That's right, yeah. But yeah, that thing is, outside of those little quirks that you don't care about, is it's damn well perfect for what it
for what it sets out to be. To be like the driver's SUV.
And then when you look at the price point, like it's priced in line with a Macan GTS. It's priced in line with
like 90, 95?
Yeah, 90, I think they start at 93, if I recall.
For a quad.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
And Macan actually GTS the same thing, 93.
And you've got a good amount of seat time in a GTS, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, and I enjoyed it. It was great.
Yeah.
But Porsches, and I love Porsche. I'm a fanboy for sure. But very clinical, right?
Yeah.
This is emotional.
Yeah.
And that's the best way I could describe it. Like the Macan is probably objectively
the superior machine.
Yeah.
Probably. But who cares?
It's not very surprising for I mean, what modern-ish German car is engaging and tugs on your heartstrings quite like a Alfa. Like,
no, there isn't much.
I can't think of anything.
I think the Z4 got pretty close.
Yeah?
Yeah. I really like that thing.
We have one coming in manual.
We do have one coming in manual.
The M3 CS kind of comes close to offering that sort of engagement, but it still feels a little like digital and
I was just going to say, digital is the word I was going to say.
It does feel a little like over-enhanced.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is very good.
Yeah.
But it's also $160,000.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is something about like that CS or a lot of the BMW M cars that are, digitized. Like, and maybe a lot of it has to do with that they do pump in a lot of big noise.
Do they?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but like I know what you mean. Like I feel like I'm kind of over harping on steering. BMW steering is generally quite good, but I felt in the CS it was a little like almost like the caster was set too high. Like it really wants to return to center. Like it wants to spring back to center like artificially fast. You know what I mean? And that could just be like aggressive track alignment because that's what the car's built to do, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you get in that, every sensation in that car is a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
To kind of a ridiculous degree.
Yeah.
Like it makes a silly amount of noise. It shifts kind of silly harsh in race mode. It's like there's all the gravel being flicked off the basically slick tires onto the uninsulated floor. Like there's a lot of stuff about that car that makes it feel wild and special for the sake of being wild and special, but it's deliberate. Alfa does this organically.
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't even understand exactly why, but I feel like you're absolutely right. Like there is something organic about this, about the way Alfa does it.
It's just right.
And the thing is, when you mention like the hard shifting of some of these M cars, like the Stelvio has that.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's mechanical and not like we didn't create some sort of like.
And there's no wait, I can't remember on the Office. Is there like a snap crackle pop thing? Does it do that?
In race mode,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so much in like the regular drive modes, but in the race modes it does.
Yeah. It has a little bit of the upshift farts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like they're there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It just feels authentic. Like I don't even have all the words. I just love it.
Yeah. Can I ask a perverse question that nobody cares about, but just raw for my own curiosity?
Yeah.
So you were driving this thing by your own admission in race mode for most of the time you had it.
Yeah.
What was your average fuel economy?
15.2, if I remember.
That's not even bad. What a car!
Yeah, I think. Here you go. 15.2. I'm checking my notes. Yeah.
That's
not
fucking
bad at
pretty
all.
good.
Yeah.
Because I expected you to say like 22.
No, and I was like, I was driving it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like,
See, in the M3 CS, I was not driving it pretty hard. Like, obviously, at times, like, you play with it, but, like, overall, you're not on it that hard just because you can't, because the limits of that thing are so high. I got 15.8. It's a car.
I wouldn't be surprised if they weigh somewhat similar, though. I wouldn't be shocked.
Probably not too far out.
The M3 is not small.
It's not small. I think. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, I'd be surprised, yeah. But yeah.
Oh, fuck, it's probably lighter than the M5.
Let's not get into that.
Oh, God.
Let's not even start that.
Oh,
but yeah, farewell to a fine friend. I adore those cars.
Yeah.
I would actually like to have a Giulia. They are fucking phenomenal cars.
Yeah, I would too, and I haven't even driven one.
You should. Picture the Stelvio just amped up to fucking 14.
Yeah, I don't even know what that would. Yeah, I'd have to change my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and this might just be a part of the car I drove, but like, the Giulia is one of the only modern cars I've driven that, like, when you're really on it, it felt kind of unsafe. Like, it's edgy. And I love that about it.
So what's funny is conversely with the Stelvio, because it's all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
When you put it in race mode, it disables stability control.
Okay,
Traction
yeah.
control. Like there's no way around it. There's no individual mode.
Yeah.
Which a little odd.
I've never understood that programming about Alphas.
Yeah, like why can't you just have the choice?
Yeah.
It has all-wheel drive. That's all you
Everyone
need.
else,
Shut
everyone
up.
else lets
And
you do those.
that's the thing. Like you never felt wanting for traction, even though the traction stability, everything was off. Never like that. It just hooked up. I was on some back roads that were a little dusty and no problem.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
That's incredible.
But I can't imagine those 503 horses or whatever it is going to only the rear wheels.
Yeah.
No.
In a lighter, tighter car is spooky.
Yeah.
It's fun. It makes you feel, nothing makes you feel more alive than fearing for your life.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to find one to drive.
Yeah, I got the same like hilarious like shit my pants giggly reaction out of the Charger Hellcat.
Yeah.
Just like, oh god, this is bad. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that purple one we had?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Oh, that thing was pretty wild.
that thing is nuts. I think that's the hardest I've ever laughed in a car.
Isn't it wild how much Stellantis' lineup has changed in like not even a year?
They don't got no V8 motors.
Jesus.
Which is like they're like
That was their whole
calling.
thing. They just like they were V8 motors, and now they don't got a V8 motor. And what the hell are they?
And that's the thing. We're all every automotive manufacturer is like just pointing to the same EV North Star now, right? And like it's unfortunate because like something like this is no longer going to exist. And then you look at like Lotus, for example, and in their factory where they're building the Emira, they still have their tagline that says
Simplify and add lightness.
yeah, and then
To a 5,000 pound EV.
Just ignore
on
that.
the flip
about
side, now
yeah.
it's the Electre and
Just ignore that simplification about with the Electra. And they're like, hey, we have this one. This one's still light.
yeah, and then I guess like Alpha's going to be doing the same thing.
I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's not.
It's unfortunate.
Speaking of V8 motors, and hey, we still have one. Ford still has one. It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm a fan. So this week, I'm
what's
driving the new 24 Ford Mustang GT Performance Pack with the 6-speed stick. Buddy, that car fucks. It's good. It is.
A third pedal completely transforms that car.
It's very good. I don't know who. There's a lot of people out there talking shit about the 6-speed in that ar.
Really?
Yes.
I don't get it.
Specifically those. Because it's the Getrag MT82.
Okay.
That's been around for a while. And, like, you just Google that, and it's just, like, pages and pages of people just talking the maddest shit about this transmission. Apparently it's very fragile. It doesn't like to shift fast. I don't know what any of these people are talking about. It's fucking glorious.
Okay, I will say, so I've had a lot of seat time in the last generation GT.
Okay. That's actually great, because I haven't.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious as to both of your thoughts, actually.
So I liked the last one too.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I will say that the last generation did have a little bit of that. It doesn't want to shift super fast.
Uh-huh.
But not to the point where you were like, oh, I hate this. I thought it was a phenomenal transmission.
Yeah.
Like I was actually shocked.
How
and this
fucking
is
good it is.
This is my very bias towards my Japanese and German cars.
Yeah.
I expected the manual transmission to be absolute dog shit.
Yeah. Me too.
And then I got in and I drove it, and I was like, holy crap, this is good.
It's really good.
The last gen one had a little bit of a long clutch pedal. This one didn't seem to have that problem. And I felt like it still has a little bit of that don't rush me too much, but it feels less than the last generation. Like it kind of felt there a little bit, but not, again, even in the last gen, I was kind of like, it's not a big deal. And in this one, it's like, unless you're looking for it, I feel like it's imperceptible. But
that's fair.
Like, holy hell, is it a good car? I don't understand how these things are magnets for crowds and going sideways and running into people.
Especially the new ones.
It's like feels
planted.
surprisingly competent.
It's a ridiculously good chassis.
Yeah, so I just feel like you have to be a ridiculously bad driver to do what these things are known for.
Yeah.
I mean,
And yeah.
people are stupid, so like I wouldn't completely put it past them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't blame. What I'm saying is I don't blame the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the car's fault. It's not endemic to the car. It's endemic to the people who buy the car.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And because this thing is great.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I don't know. Do you know what it weighs? Because
Chunky monkey, a little shy of 2 tons.
but it hides its weight
feel it.
well. Like, I'd say,
When you're really pounding it,
Sure.
you can feel it.
I mean-
like I put a good amount of mileage on that car last night. I drove the shit out of it.
yeah.
My only complaint is that like it's a little plowy at kind of lower speed. Like you can kind of feel it. It can't overwhelm its weight entirely. I never encountered the shift hustle thing, but I don't hustle shifters ever.
Yeah.
Ever. It's just from coming from old cars. You just learn that mechanical sympathy. Just don't do
Right,
that.
right.
Really well sorted chassis. Fucking phenomenal engine. That Coyote is
Oof, yeah.
one of, if not the best engine in production right now. Fucking incredible,
absolutely.
amazing engine. And not even bad on gas.
And sounds.
Delicious. The quiet mode in that car is loud, and it just gets louder. And then there's 3 more much louder settings.
And I'd say the last gen sounded pretty good. This one sounds better, I
Yeah.
think.
It's got
The
such
last gen GT350, nothing could touch that.
well, it's a different engine altogether.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
heard one in person. I'd love to.
It's got such like a hard, like thumping gurgle to it,
Yeah.
especially like at lower RPMs when you're loading it up. It's so good, and it just builds and builds and builds because it's not an American style V8. It's a very
the
European,
GT350,
over squared,
yeah.
32 valve, like quad cam, high revving screamer of an engine. It doesn't have amazing bottom end. Like it's there, but it's not like the Chryslers. They had bottom end like for days.
Yeah.
This takes approximately half a second to light up the back tires. The Chryslers did it in a quarter. And one of the things I noticed, and perhaps in recognition of the memes about these cars, is that the traction system has been dialed in such a way that you press traction off and it says traction off, traction is still on.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you got to do the whole long press thing
Yeah,
to
so
fully kill it.
Yeah, it'll let you do a burnout at a straight line, but as soon as it sees a little bit of sideways, it will cut that shit out. If you are not in sport mode, you have traction on, and you do a clutch dump, it will stop it.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
it just cuts power.
Huh.
Or at least the yellow one, the one that Ben had.
Yeah.
There's another GT 6-speed without the performance pack. That's what it did. I was back into the office. I felt like being a jackass. I hit traction off, clutch in, gas in, clutch out.
And that's with the car in not
In normal mode.
Normal mode. Okay.
So, but
Interesting.
you
Yeah.
can defeat it, right?
Yes,
easily
So-
with
yeah,
the
so,
long
well, it's the
press.
thing because I was out playing with this car and like, okay, traction off, and like, okay, I'm gonna see I'm gonna try and evaluate professionally its transient handling characteristics. So around
Big
low speed
words.
corners, I applied generous throttle,
Yes.
and it just fucking wouldn't do anything. I felt like it didn't.
Okay.
And it was tricky because it didn't feel like it was bogging down like most traction systems do.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was cutting things out. It just felt like it's not as much torque as I remember.
Interesting.
And then like, wait, let me try this. Press and hold, long press, advanced track off. Oh, here we go. Oh, there it is. It'll step right out when you punch it. But even
So
then, you
interesting.
have to be a complete fucking jackass to get this car to break loose.
So
It's planted.
But like, so I appreciate the fact that it's there and that it's defeatable
Yeah.
because, hey, the Mustang is like, it might be the
It's a lot
quote
of car.
unquote sports car that has like the widest audience.
Yeah, it is like probably the
right.
most.
You got track guys, you got
Yeah,
crowd
track-
hunters, you got
Yeah.
you got parking lot
Yeah,
papers,
yeah, you got like hard parking bros. You got my mom. My mom loves them. Like they're for
Yeah,
everybody. It's
yeah.
the universal sports car. So they've had to like, they've gone to such huge length to cater to everyone and massage the car to be a competent performance weapon, but not be a dangerous weapon.
Do we have a dark horse?
No.
No. No dark horse?
No
Come
dark
on,
horse.
Howard. Come on. We're singing the praises. Give us a dark horse.
It's going to Montreal.
Oh, sad.
It might come back. Maybe.
But yeah, really impressive chassis. And like, okay, so it bears mentioning last night, I noticed this. I was out, it was hot out, so hot, dry pavement.
Okay.
That car stuck like fucking glue. I stopped, I was on the grass for like an hour doing photos. As soon as I got back up, oh, I have no traction. Neat, okay. Tires cooled off.
Nice.
But yeah, overall, like crazy impressive chassis.
So you drove you drove the regular Mustang GT and then the Mustang GT with the performance pack.
Correct.
And what's the major difference and thoughts?
I spent very little time with the non-performance car, so I can't speak to it much. I liked that a lot. I almost prefer the pedestrian Continental all seasons on it because it was more playful.
Okay. Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah, the performance pack is much more focused. It's a little tighter, a little sharper. They say there's a very modest performance bump. Nick, you asked before what this car is up to. It's 486. Okay. 486 horsepower. Yeah. You wouldn't detect it. The sound's exactly the same, or at least to my ear from 2 weeks ago. It's near as close enough to be exactly the same.
I feel like they had a lot of different like final drive options. And
they did. The performance pack gets the 373s, the aggressive ones.
Yeah.
And it's a Torsen limited slip. I don't know if the regular one... I think the regular one gets a Torsen too, but it's a gentler ratio.
Yeah. It's pretty cool that they do that.
Yeah. It's amazing performance car. There's also a lot of tweaks done to the interior, which Ford is very proud of and will spend a lot of time talking about. And I don't think they should do that.
That's kind of where it loses me.
That's kind of where it falls down just a little bit, because that car is sort of a shitty place to sit. Like, it's not bad. The Mustang was never meant to be a luxury car. Yeah. I shouldn't say that. That was a harsh thing to say. But I feel like there's I don't like to bring this out, but I feel like there is a lot of...
hard touch plastic.
No, I wasn't even going to say that. It feels like cost-cutting. It feels like almost deliberate cheapness.
Yeah, because like you can tell, like there's a lot that's shared between this new one and the outgoing one. So like the door panels, the center console, those are slightly tweaked, but still largely the same design. Big difference is that with the previous ones, those were still like, upholstered in like, leatherette,
some sort of vinyl, whatever.
Vinyl, some cushier plastics, and they generally felt nicer.
Okay, hang on.
But the cost cutting is apparent in this one too.
And there on those materials, although it bears asking, was there ever, because this car, there's the Mustang there's the Mustang and there's the Mustang Premium.
Yes.
Do we know if the premium cars reintroduced this, and do we know if we ever had a non-premium car of the last gen? Because I don't want to throw shade if there's no shade to be thrown. This is a fuck lot of car for $58,000.
It's 58?
$58,000?
Yeah.
Like performance pack and everything.
As tested, $58,930.
No. Okay, so we were speculating.
Okay, so I take back some of my complaints just now because that's really good value.
That's a fucking obnoxious amount of car.
There was 3 of us outside.
Yeah.
After we drove it.
Yeah.
Saying that if this was in the if and we didn't believe it.
Yeah.
If this was below 65, that this would be a great value.
Oh my god,
59.
that's incredible value.
Yeah.
Under 60.
Yeah.
That's like a mic drop
59
moment.
as tested.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I take back my complaints.
I still have complaints. So like the surfaces on the center console, door panels, like I don't love it, but whatever. I'll take it because it's not a premium car. It's not meant to be. It's not. And I don't mean it as a joke. Like it's not a premium spec car. You can buy this. I don't know if it comes with it. Maybe it does. I haven't looked into it that far. Their whole thing, and I don't want to get too far into this because it's been beaten to death by everyone else who's covered the car, but the whole dual screen thing that they're very proud of.
Yeah.
I fucking despise with a burning fiery passion.
That's cost cutting.
Like that's so like you have a Tombstone rectangular tablet for the gauge cluster. You have another Tombstone rectangular tablet for the infotainment center display. They are similar in size but not the same. It drives me fucking insane that they don't line up. Like give me a little frame to join them. Give me like an instrument binnacle, kind of like the 69 Mustangs had, where you can unify things. You have a lot of heritage that you can draw from here. And they've chose not to do that. Just put 2 TVs on it. The kids watch TVs, give them TVs. So there's 2 fucking different size TVs on the same coffee table. It looks fucking retarded. I don't like that. They're also hyping up, oh, things got NVIDIA graphics processing and we rendered the graphics in Unreal Engine.
Right. Yeah.
Who cares? Like, okay, the animations look neat, but they're animations.
It's
I'm
wrong.
not looking at them. I don't buy a car for fucking animations. I buy it for the V8 motor.
So
And the frame rate is still shit!
I was just gonna say, I love the Fox body gauges.
Yeah.
But the frame rate is actually pretty poor.
Yeah.
And you see it kind of...
It kind of
little bit.
stutters a little bit. Like,
stutters, yeah. Which,
Yeah.
like, most cars, like, my Integra has a digital screen, and it's super fluid.
yeah, like if you're going to talk that shit up,
Yeah.
be good at it.
Yeah.
And, like, they've done some cool stuff here. There's a lot of cool, like, displays, loadouts where you can customize everything. It's very cool.
It's a good interface too.
Like, I think the overall, like, UI design appearance, generally quite good. I have few complaints. But for how much they're hyping it and for how it's been executed, super disappointing. It takes away from an otherwise fucking stellar car.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's as much a marketing play as it is like the engineering behind it. Like it's very much we can sell this because people now know what Unreal Engine is and NVIDIA is all in the news.
It just seems very like, okay, boomer. I hate to bring that up, but it's like, give the kids the screens there. And then like the boomers see the kids have the screens, so now the boomers want the screens, but they don't know how to do it right. And that's what this is.
So does it upset you enough to not want the car? Or is that motor, that chassis, that sound, that transmission enough to be like, you know what? It's fine.
I don't think it's for me. I really like the car. I really like what it sets out to do. I think it does the Mustang thing really well. Mm-hmm. That kind of like, I don't want to say humble, but like homegrown hero kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where like it can be a track rat. It can be your mom's cruiser.
Yeah.
Because it has such a broad appeal. And everyone thinks it sounds badass, it looks badass, and it like has the chassis chops and the engine to back it all up. It's a sick fucking car.
I
Don't know that it's for me, but it's fucking really kick ass.
I just still can't believe it's under 60.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There is allegedly a price bump coming next year.
Oh, yeah.
Because they realized their mistake.
That's unfortunate. Like 5K or something.
Something
it's
like that.
pretty significant.
Yeah.
In the
But
Canadian
either way,
market.
it's at that point, still come in under 65. You're still doing okay.
Yeah.
For the amount of car you're getting.
It's still a good amount of car, but like, I don't really like the fact that they're introducing, or they're rumored to be introducing like such a massive price bump. But like at the same time, it's the last one of its kind. Camaro's dead. Challenger's dead. Like,
Well, that
the
aside,
Charger's eventually getting a gas engine again, but like it's the Hurricane inline six.
Yeah. Like, what else comes even vaguely fucking close to this in the market?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
It's the Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Like V8 manual, period. What else does that?
CT5.
Yeah.
We have one car that's $100,000.
Yep.
Yeah. If you add in price, what?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing gets even fucking close. So Ford's got a lot of room to play with here, and all the power to them. I think for the mid-cycle refresh, if they decide to maybe just put a hood on the fucking dashboard to unify the two screens, that'll go a long way.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's one of the rare instances where, like, it's a new car. Everything else about it has been thoroughly improved. Mm-hmm. But, like, I kind of prefer the interior of the old one better.
Yeah, like, I don't know, we beat this to death a lot, but it's true. Like, I prefer the physical switchgear of the last car.
Yeah.
This one's built better. I think the last one had better materials, but this one is built better. There's less fitment issues I'm finding. The last two Mustangs that had the dashboard was fucking warped. This solves that problem. Like, okay, there's some steps forward here. They've given you some physical controls, and they've been smart about which ones it is, because it is the Mustang My Mode customization thing,
Right.
traction off, favorites, and hazards.
Yeah.
Like, okay, those four.
Makes
That
sense.
tracks. Yeah. Like,
I'm not as upset as I thought I would be with the loss of the climate controls, the physical climate controls.
I hate that.
But at the same time, at least they're on the screen for like.
Yeah, like they're always on the
Yeah.
screen, but they're not super responsive. They don't work great. The HVAC in that car doesn't work great because it's a weird dashboard layout, so it's either way too cold or not even close to cold enough. What else was I going to bitch about? And other Ford products go the other way. They have double redundant. Like on the new Ranger, it has
Yeah.
physical climate and climate on
I
screen.
really like that about the Ranger Raptor.
Yes, and this has gone the other way and picked the wrong way.
Yeah, but I
Consistency
mean,
is key.
yeah, not a Mustang-specific fault, though. We've seen this.
Across
Time and
many.
time
Others
again,
are better at implementing it than others. There's room for improvement here, but overall, fucking stellar car. I just don't love some of the tweaks they've gone for, and how proud they seem to be of those tweaks. That's the wrong way. Don't focus in that direction. The engineering team, they got their shit together. That shit is tight. That's dialed. It's
Listen
very
to them.
good. Yeah. Let those guys run the show. I guess speaking of running the show, Imran, we're going to hand it back over to you.
All right, we got 10 minutes left.
We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay.
Imran, do you want to talk about your blue car or your other blue car?
So
Let's talk about the
let's-
little blue car, because we'll talk about his big blue car next week, and I have
Yeah.
the other big blue car.
Excellent.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So little blue car
blue car.
is a great little blue car. It's a GR Corolla. For those of you that don't know, it is the Civic Type R version of a Corolla, and who
A
would
little
have thunk it?
smaller.
I think
Yeah.
so. I want to preface this by saying I'm very curious to hear your opinion, because you come from a position of pretty significant authority on this, having driven all the modern sport compacts and having bought an Integra Type S.
Yeah. So I was really excited. I asked for this one. I think for the
You
GR
both asked
Corolla.
for it.
Oh, did we? Yeah.
Did I? I think I said it'd be nice, but I'm
Yeah.
sure Imran's going to want it, and I want his opinion more.
To be fair, he asked me first. Aaron asked me first.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. Because I was just very curious, because
Yeah.
I love these sport compact.
Yeah, I drove one
love hot
briefly 2
hatches,
years ago
like-
for 10 minutes, and I thought, holy shit, this is good.
and that's the thing. Like it's so just for context, like I owned the latest GTI. We drove the Golf R last year. I currently have the new Integra Type S. I've driven the last gen Civic Type R on track. So I've driven a
a
lot,
lot of
these,
context in
yes.
this in this game. Question: have you driven an STI?
I haven't driven the last generation STI. I have
Yeah.
not.
He had the WRX RS.
I did have the
last week.
WRX
Yeah.
RS, yeah.
All right, that's, yeah.
Yeah, so lots of context. Couple observations. It is like the smallest of the bunch
Yeah.
by far. What feels like it. Yeah, it is small, but mighty. That it has a 3-cylinder turbo.
What a sweet engine, eh?
It is. Yeah, it's
so angry.
It's feisty.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way to describe it. It's this feisty little thing. Very short gear ratios.
Yeah.
Like shorter than the Integra. You're shifting all the time
Yep.
in a good way, because that
Yeah.
transmission is actually pretty darn good. I'm still biased towards my Honda World, and I think Honda does it better. But it's actually a really good transmission. Feels like there's no slack in it. There's not that like rubberiness that you get in some BMWs. There's not that kind of fragility that you get in some Subarus. It feels like you can manhandle it.
Yeah. It's meant to be pounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Be laughing at.
Nick can't keep a straight
That's
face.
what it's built to be. Like, it's a tiny little 3-cylinder engine that's meant to have 30 PSI going through it all the
And that's
time,
the
and the
thing.
trans is there to back it up.
And you hear the turbo whistling.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
And okay, I swear I heard like that like wastegate flutter.
Yeah.
Did anyone else say if we had that?
Yep.
Okay,
I
it
don't
is
recall.
true, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause-
Radio off, climate off.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
okay, which I thought was the wildest thing,
Yeah, I
especially because
fucking love that.
because this thing has there's rally car roots to
Yeah.
it if you kind of dig back to how this thing was born. The chassis feels really good. The all-wheel drive system. There's been some people who've said, it's user selectable in terms of power. Like you can go 30-70 rear, you can do 60-40 rear, or you can do 50-50 for track. And there was a lot of these YouTube videos and stuff like that where they're saying that, it all kind of feels the same. And I think why it does is because I was kind of watching that all-wheel drive meter when you're driving. You can kind of see where the power's going.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And as long as you're not on full throttle, it'll do the 30-70. It'll do the 60-40.
Right.
The moment you punch it,
Yeah.
it just goes straight to 50-50 for everything. Whether that's an accurate representation of what's happening with the all-wheel drive. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, that probably tracks then. Why people are like, oh, when we're in like 30-70 mode, it won't kick out the rear and blah, blah, blah. It's because
Interesting.
It's trying to just lock it down.
I feel like that's what it's doing, no matter what mode you're in.
I felt it was a little tail happy with it.
Yeah?
With the base. What's the base one? The core?
The core, yeah.
Core. So the white core we had maybe the week you started.
Okay.
It was a couple years. I kept it in 30-70 mode for most of the week, and it was a little tail happy.
So I found that, no, I feel like the 30-70 is happening.
Yeah.
But again, when you pin it.
Yeah, when it's actually working, it goes to 50-50.
It just goes to 50-50. And regardless, it feels very competent. I think it's fun.
Absolutely.
In reality, most of us don't have the money to roast our tires. That's not what we're doing. Yeah, we're driving, we're having fun on back roads and yada, yada, yada. But, we're not trying to go through a set of tires in a month. And this thing felt so planted.
Yeah.
The one complaint I'd have from a drivability perspective is that I felt like the front end wasn't communicative. So I felt as though the steering very sharp. The turn-in was crisp, but I did not know what, especially the front tires were doing. I feel like in the Integra, when I hop back in the Integra, and funny enough, that's the car I left over at Toyota, so I literally hopped right back into it.
Okay, yeah.
And immediately I felt like that front end was so much more communicative.
So is it a steering wheel thing then?
Yeah, would you say steering or chassis?
So and that's the thing that I was the steering feel, just like the Integra, is very electric, very artificial,
modern car things.
I'd say both of them are weighted very nicely.
Yeah.
The weight is good. Communication is okay. But I just feel and I don't know I don't know how to explain this properly, but in the Integra, I know the grip levels of the front wheels.
Yeah.
I know. In the Corolla, I didn't.
Yeah.
I
wasn't sure when it was going to push.
I was trusting it.
Yeah.
I was trusting it, and you can trust it. That's the thing. You can trust it. But I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know when it's going to start to let up. It was one of those, we'll correct this when it comes.
Yeah. And it might just be that it's set up to be more mechanical grip now and a more sudden brake when it gets there.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's weird decision to everyone else is putting their 4S's on the Pilot Sport 4S's on their equivalent, and Toyota went with the Pilot Sport 4s.
Right.
I wonder if that has something to do with it in terms of communication.
Possibly, yeah.
Because the 4s and 4S's are significantly different. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to buy that. Let's play this game really quick. What does this car do better than the ITS?
Launches, for one. The ITS is very front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And so, you, on a roll, the ITS does feel more powerful.
Yeah.
It does feel quicker.
Yeah.
It feels lighter, the ITS, I'd say, even though I think weight-wise they're actually right around the same thing, even though the ITS is bigger. But obviously the Corolla is all-wheel drive and what have you.
You're kind of feeling that mass,
Yeah, but definitely, you put the power down and you're gone in this thing. You don't have to think about it. It's almost like cheating. You just foot to the floor and you're good.
Yeah.
The Integra, you have to modulate the throttle.
Yeah.
And then I'd say the Integra does a better job of balancing sport and sort of comfort.
Okay.
This thing's actually pretty stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
And it doesn't have adaptive suspension, which I actually don't mind.
Yeah.
I actually feel like they nailed it in terms
for being
of
the sporty car.
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's appropriately stiff. It's not harsh.
Yeah.
It's appropriately stiff. But at the same time, when I hopped into the Integra, I was like, oh, this feels like a luxury car.
Well,
even though it's sharp as well, right?
Well, the ITS is probably more usable, especially in your scenario when you have a child seat.
Oh, totally.
And
it's a lot bigger, though, right?
Technically they are both hatchbacks, but the Civic hatch and the Integra by extension, they're all really fucking practical. They're almost
oh yeah,
cheater cars in terms of practicality, and that does carry over to the Civic Type R and the ITS.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so the Corolla can't do all of that. with the ITS, we'll go spend a weekend at my parents and load up all the kids' shit and all that stuff. And the car is pretty full to the brim.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to take the Corolla for that.
Okay.
Like I'd have to leave some stuff behind. But some of the things that I was, I guess, pleasantly surprised at is, like the build quality is actually, the interior is like very compact car looking, unlike the Civic and the Integra that kind of look upscale. Even the Mazda 3 looks upscale. It doesn't look upscale even in the GR format, but it's put together well.
It really reminds me of old STIs. Like it's like same basic interior as the basic Impreza, but hey, you got better seats. You got some more Alcantara here and there, and
it's glued together well. Like it's like it's there's no rattle, as stiff as it is.
It's a Toyota.
No rattles, none of that stuff. The gauge cluster is actually fantastic. I think it's a lot of fun. I wish Acura did a better job there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Civic has that plus R screen that's a little bit better, but
let's play this game. So I only drove that car a while ago for 10 minutes, so my opinion's a little shaky here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But from what I recall, I personally think that the GR Corolla feels, perhaps just from a driver's perspective, feels the most special of that whole bunch. How offended are you by this?
So I'm not, because I actually was going to go there.
Okay.
It feels the most hooligan-y.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels the most, if you want to just be a goof.
Yeah.
Just like go have fun in that because of the way it sounds.
Yeah.
There's a stupidness to it in a good way.
Yeah. It's like a grab it by the scruff of its neck and like just like manhandle it around.
Yeah. Like honestly, this is, and like I friggin' love my ITS. Absolutely love it. But it's almost going back to that Porsche Macan GTS and that Alfa conversation in a weird way. Not to the same sort of level, but the Acura, when I got back into it, felt more clinically perfect than the Corolla.
Yeah. A more competent machine.
Yeah.
But maybe not a more memorable one. Yeah.
With the ITS, it's like when I was driving home calmly, and I have fun with that car.
Yeah.
With a Corolla, it almost had that Alpha thing to me, where I was always just, I was driving like I was 15 years younger than I am, over and over and over again.
It pulls it out again.
Yeah, because you always hear that turbo, like you just, and just the Integra looks great. I think it's one of the nicest looking cars in recent times. I really love the way it looks. The Corolla again has that stupidness to it, to the look that you just you're just like, it's so
you
dumb
just so
and
want to
good
play
looking.
with it. Yeah.
Like it's just like like it's just like it looks good, especially why does this thing have a forged carbon roof?
Like
it just
because it's sick.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a Corolla with a forged carbon roof and forged BBS rims.
It's like not so much the car.
It's fucking good. But that's the thing. It's like, why? Because it's fucking sick. Why not?
Yeah.
Like
exactly, and it just encourages that. And this thing was painted in, I don't know what the actual technical term is, but it was a very bright blue. I loved looking at it.
Yeah, it's scented blue.
Yeah,
and that's what they should call it. And it was fun.
The base core definitely looks more subdued.
Oh, so that's the thing.
It was really if you're like on the road, it's you really have to take a close look at a base core to like really pick out the differences. The circuit has all the right stuff.
So, and I'd say that this is kind of like the same situation with the Integra Type S and the regular Integra. The regular Integra, when I first came out, and even when I see it now, I'm kind of like, eh. When I see the Integra Type S, I'm like, holy shit, that looks good.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what they meant.
Yeah. This is the same thing with the core Corolla, the GR Corolla. I'm very much like whatever.
Like, you still have the box flares, to be fair, which are cool, but like you really have to look for it without the spoiler.
So the spoiler is a big thing.
Yeah, the hood vents too.
The hood, and it's not just hood vents though. If you look, the shape of the hood is a lot more aggressive.
Is it?
Yeah, it has this kind of almost like there's like a big block underneath. Like it's just like
a big hump.
Yeah, if you guys like look up photos or the photos that I send over, there's like a very squared off hump.
Okay. Cool.
that the vents sit on.
That's actually really cool. Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have that forged carbon roof,
Yeah.
which is just
That's kind of
wild.
That's fucking ridiculous for a Corolla.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and then like slotted brake rotors from the
Yeah.
factory. Like you don't even see that. I don't remember the last car I saw that had slotted brake rotors
Yeah.
from the factory.
But it's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's awesome,
Yeah.
right? Like you see the cross drilled stuff everywhere now, but like I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually a fantastic car.
How much are these things now?
I knew you were going to ask this question, and I forget.
I think I'm pretty sure.
But the circuit, I want to say 60 something. It's like right around 60,
Oh, dear.
isn't it? And that's the thing.
That's
And
Mustang
that's the
money.
thing.
So
Now you're in Mustang territory.
so it suffers from
A lot of other car territory.
it suffers from the WRX syndrome a little bit. You know, we've talked about the WRX where it's like, hey, if you're getting like a base-ish version, it's like a pretty good value.
Yeah. And you
then
go
when you-
further up the rung and it becomes kind of a
And
problem.
you're kind of like,
yeah.
now does this make sense? That's the thing with this circuit edition specifically, because the core model,
Yeah.
as much as we don't like the look, in Canada we're lucky because mechanically it's the same.
Yeah.
In the US, the core model doesn't have the LSDs.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so it's a big difference.
So that's the one you want.
But here you want the core, and you just
Yeah.
want to find all the go fast looking pieces.
Yeah.
The spoiler.
Just
Honestly,
put
that's all it
BBSs
needs.
on it. Everything's better with
I don't know,
BBSs.
that hood is pretty too. When you see it, see it again, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it.
Okay, but what's the damage on a core?
It's it's like almost like 10 grand difference.
I think they're still under 50. Like
yeah, like it's a big
Okay,
difference.
that's a
white
good
one-
amount of car.
Yeah.
the white one we had was like 46 to start.
Like it's a
That's a very healthy amount of car.
49 now.
Well, that's including destination.
Oh sure, yeah, and
Okay.
then including destination, it's a 10 grand
Yeah,
difference
yeah, you're pushing 60.
to the circuit. Yeah,
Jesus, that's Mustang money.
That's always been the problem with these, and like this goes back 20 years. It's always been the problem with like the WRX STI, the Mitsubishi Evo, like all of these cars. The answer has always been, for that money, get a fucking Mustang. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but back then,
Yeah.
those could still spank Mustangs because from the factory, they weren't as sharp. Like back in 2006, 2007.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah. Now it's a problem. For the last like 15 years,
That's
since the
exactly it.
Coyote, it's been a
they're
problem.
fucking good.
Yeah.
but that's the thing. It's like it's just a very different car, though, right?
Oh, completely different animal, yeah.
And not taking anything away from the Mustang or this Corolla. They're just like, they're probably not cross shopped.
Yeah.
They're different tools for the job, honestly.
And yeah, but like the thing is, I think of it in the vacuum of the GR Corolla world. Is 10 grand worth that hood, those BBS wheels,
The forged carbon roof.
the forged carbon roof, and then the nicer seats, which they look significantly nicer. They do look significantly nicer.
Honestly, just give me the wing, give me the seats.
Yeah, but you can't.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's if I'd want this, I'd want it in circuit trim.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want it at the circuit trim pricing. So that's the conundrum here. Yeah, in an ideal world, I'd be the guy that has like all of these sport compacts. I just love most of them.
Yeah.
And I would truly love to have a GR Corolla alongside the
for every
Integra
day of
Type S. But at those prices, it just doesn't make sense to me.
And like it's fair. It's not to knock Toyota. Like there's a lot of engineering that went into that car to make it what it is.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And they did, and it was more than just suspension and some of this look stuff.
Yeah,
and,
like,
they
the whole
made
engine is
chassis
different.
enhancements.
Yeah.
Like I think there's more high strength glue and everything like that
Yeah.
in the chassis.
This is
like
broadly
it's a lot.
comparable to something like a Ford truck and a Ford Raptor truck.
Yeah.
Like where like
totally,
frames
yeah.
are different, engines different, fucking everything is different. It's just the same body on top, sort of.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is very much like this is the Evo of today.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. I'd say it's the STI of today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look back on my short test drive in that thing quite fondly. They're good cars.
And the thing is, like, I guess, and I'd say, like, I'm probably one of the primary age demographics, and actually our entire age group probably is. And it's hard to justify spending $60,000 and then not having things like rain sensing wipers. And I'm not asking for a luxury car.
Yeah.
But like rain sensing wipers have become like a de facto standard pretty much. Or dual zone climate control. Like not having that. And like my wife called that out. She's like, didn't the Elantra we had, like that like mid-range Elantra we had have dual zone climate control? Like she was like, she was like pointing out the fact that there's a $60,000 car that doesn't have some of these basic things.
Do you actually use rain sensing wipers?
I actually do.
Who doesn't?
I do.
It can never get I find it can never get it right. Either
Really?
it wipes too soon or it doesn't wipe enough. Oh God, that sounds very wrong.
Anyway,
No, yeah. So I just like a couple of those omissions. I've heard that there's rumors of an automatic for one, for 2025.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
reserve my boo until
well, the GR Yaris
delayed.
got it already. It's been
it dual
confirmed. No, I think it's just like an 8-speed auto, and then so very likely coming to the Corolla, which will expand and put it in a Golf R competition, perhaps.
Yeah.
Dual zone climate control is also supposed to be.
Oh shit!
Supposed to be
moving up
added.
in the world, man.
Ooh,
So
rain
if
sensing
they-
wipers. You
yeah.
got your rain sensing
So if
wipers
they-
eventually.
Yeah, so if they add that to the mix, and I don't know, the pricing is still a little odd, but I think they're listening, and
Seems like it.
They're
and
moving.
they're updating things. But yeah, all in all, like a solid car. It felt really weird. I've owned a Corolla before. It was a beige 1998 Corolla CE, and it was not this.
This has nothing to do with that.
No. And so it felt weird to me, like loving this thing as much as I did and
Yeah.
enjoying it as much as I did and like wanting to go for drives. Like
Yeah.
kid goes to sleep. It's like, I'm just going to go for a rip
Yeah.
in this thing. Because at the end of the day, it's the Corolla. And I'm like, why is this happening?
Well, it's the same thing with like the rest of Toyota's lineup. Like if you told me even 5 years ago that Toyota's going to have some of the most engaging cars,
Yeah.
and 3 of them which you could spec with a fucking manual transmission, like I would have laughed you in the face.
We had this conversation many, many moons ago on this podcast talking about, is there another mainstream manufacturer that makes more quote unquote sports cars? And the answer was no.
Yeah. It's
no,
Toyota.
No
Yeah.
one has that lineup.
Yeah.
Which is wild, but that's the world we live in, and I'm okay with it.
Crazy times out there.
Crazy times. And on that note, that's as good as a place as any to wrap up this episode. Imran, Nathan, thanks for joining. Everyone else, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. If you wish to keep tabs on our automotive misadventures, you can do so at doubleclutch.ca on socials.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.
Bye.
And once again, thanks for listening, Nathan's mom.